Hey everybody, welcome back to Life with the Hamptons. We have gotten this episode 3 of the KLR build. It's 2016 bone stock KLR when we started. But this episode we have got the installation of the Barkbusters. Now these are the generic eBay Barkbusters. They match great, the color match is really good. The eBay fat bar, 1 1/8 inch fat bars, as well as the 2-inch eBay risers. We have got the full installation on them. This episode 3 going to be the Barkbusters, going to be the Ricochet skid plate, and going to be the finish of the FootPeg installation. All of these parts are off eBay. Okay, it's a budget build in mind, and I have roughly about $350 in the front Moto X fender. It's the KLR650 front fender, the 2020 model. All the components that go on the handlebars, that is included. The foot pegs are included. The Ricochet skid plate is included. The trunk is included, and the exhaust is included, all for that $350. You can't beat that. So stay with us, enjoy the build. Let's get to it. Exactly what I'm going to do here. I went and got, I'm not going to use those same pins. I went and got some bolts with the solid shank here, and it leaves, there's just too much slack in this pin from those smaller bolts. So, but I didn't want to get the size bolt that was perfect for this, because I would have had to drill too much of this out, and I was afraid I would lose a lot of meat and weaken it up. So what I did, I kind of compromised. So I got a, I think it was a 5/16 bolt's what it is. But it's a little bit of slack in here, and I'm having to drill this out just a hair more. So I think it's a good compromise. So I'll drill this out now, and then I will take and slide these down in there. And I got the slick shank far enough to get all the way through all the pressure points on that. And then I will adjust it with a bunch of washers, which I got 30 of. So I can shim, I can use these washers to do whatever I want to. I can shim this anywhere I want to and get it right. So that's what we're going to go with. Stick with us. There we go. Here's the almost finished product, but you can see I used my washers to just space that out, and had a little bit of slop, very little. I didn't have to pry a washer in there or anything. I left a little slack in it, and when I snugged it up, I just snugged it up to where there's actually, I don't know if you can see how much pressure I have to put up to get it to fold up. I didn't just crank down on it in case I lay it down or something. And that'll work up loose, but it's not going to be vibrating. So that'll work out great. And then I'll take cutters and I'll cut that bolt off right there flush with that. So it's not going to be gaudy or sticking up like that. I think it'll look good. On the other side, what we've got is this bolt goes in there, and that attaches to the fat bar up in this area right here. Now you may have to do a little adjusting with your brake levers because of your master cylinder. You may have to bend it a little bit, you know. But it's generic, you know. This is a generic part, so it kind of you have to kind of twist it and bend it to fit your application sometimes. So we're aware of that and willing to do that. But it also comes with you can see here the regular sleeve, and of course the bolt is in here. You can see, we'll take that apart for you if I can stop losing the pieces. It's just a shank that goes in there, but bolt will come out. And anyway, that's kind of the way it works. And this is a sleeve in case you have a really big open bar. And there's a sleeve to fit that, but in this application the standard will be just fine. That's the only one that'll work. So what we will do is we will take this bar, and first thing we'll put our bolt through, just like so. Then we will put that on. Then we will take our shank, put that back, and then we will, and sometimes, depending on what kit you get, sometimes there's not enough bolt to get the shank started. And there's two lines here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's two lines. You have to make sure that that gets in the split. And when, of course, when you pull this in, it acts just like a rivet, anything like that. And this opens this up and flares out and grabs the inside of that. So obviously it's a no-brainer. So we will just snug this up. Again, making sure that these lines, this little line on these shanks, line up in here. Okay, so it'll pull it down in and spread it apart. So we will slide that in there. Slide that all the way in. Just like so. So. And that's what we'll do, and we will take and we will snug it up. Now again, we're not going to tighten all this stuff up like you're going to want it right now. But I mean, you can see the more you tighten it, it's just going to tighten more and more and more. So that's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and get this side fitted, and that is the installation. So we'll go. All right, I want to show you guys what I was talking about, do a little modifications. I've got this snug in here, and over here you can see I put a mark on this right there when it was before I bent it, because it continued, if you'll remember, you can go back and look, but this same line, it continued that same line, and it wouldn't work. So what I do, I took and put this in a vise. I made me a mark on the angle I needed it. I needed it 90 degrees basically with this. I needed the tip of that 90 degrees. If you can see what I'm talking about, that's straight up and down to this. Now this is going to vary per bar. Some bars are just completely different. So what I'm talking about, just modifying these generic applications. You just have to do the best you can. What I had to do with this, I bent this flat. As you can see, I bent this around where this spacer goes. Well, it's not entirely down on the fat part of the bar, the 1 1/8. Here's the 7/8, and the 1 1/8 is down here. So we're ended up right in the middle. So the washers, and you have to excuse my hands, I've been working that vise and it's greasy. These came with the kit, and these are for the 7/8 bars. So what I had to do, if you can see, there's only one of them in there, and it wouldn't fit, just one of them wouldn't. So I had to take and shave the corner down on a grinder, shave this corner and the opposite corner, shave those down, and that way, because you can see it's a little angle. But it took me 5 minutes to do that, and it's no huge deal. Now I just got them finger tied. I've not snugged them up, but you can see how that's going to work just fine. And then once I get that one in, I'll snug it up. Everything's going to be just fine. Guys, like I said, these, you can go and spend the money and buy OE Kawasaki KLR parts if you want to. But you know, in my opinion, that's just kind of foolish. Again, you go get Barkbusters, it's made for a KLR. Yes, they're going to come pre-bent for the stock bars. But you go to aftermarket bars, I don't care what you have, you might have to do a little tweaking. You put pro tapers or anything on there, you might have to do a little tweaking. The only thing you may get out is if you buy Tusk bars, you know, and a Tusk brush guards, hand guards. So I'm not sure if that will work, but even then you might run into some type of little a custom thing you've got to do. But I just wanted to show you, it is possible to do all of this stuff on a budget. You just have to work at it a little bit. Again, these were $26 or $28 versus even the cheapest name brand I could find is Tusk, and those were 90 bucks, I think. So you get on up in the Barkbusters and they're, you know, 120, 150 bucks So anyway, this is what it looks like. And I'm gonna get the other one on there and call this done. We'll move on to the skid plate. Guys, it is a little later than what I thought. It's about 6:30, close to it, and as you can see, but it looks a lot lighter outside than what it actually is. But I got them on there, and you can see I've got the light in here in the trailer, but got those on. They match really, really well. Just had to do a little modifications and a few little things, but overall they look great. Stock skid plate. It has, looks like it's 4 8mm bolts. Just letting you see the finished product. Finished product of these. You can see how we installed them, and we finished cutting those bolts off. I'm not gonna leave anything like that sticking up. As you can see, it is still been raining. It rained all day today, and the sun's out now. But you can see it looks all tidy. And let's see what we have here. Finished product. Ricochet skid plate. All painted and installed. That looks pretty good, if I have to say so myself. So there we go. Just a little bitty progress on it. Everything matches really well. Looks really, really good out in the daylight. So we're getting there. All right, guys. I want y'all to like, share, and subscribe, and stick with us on these videos. All right, God bless you guys.